Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Greg. Hopefully, you guys are doing well. We're going live. Hopefully, you guys are coming to the room. This is my first ever live stream. Um, I'm new to YouTube. I honestly do not know how this goes. So I kind of spitball here, so hopefully, you guys enjoy. See, hopefully, you enjoy. We just venting out type of things once a week. Hopefully, you guys enjoy. But basically, I, I'm and I'm still figuring things out as we go. As we go. I want to touch on a couple of things, including the Apple MagSafe charger, Nomad battery cover, um, and just like tech gear that I like to talk about. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. So first, I wanted to touch on one of the videos that I actually did just a couple of days ago. I did a video on this Apple safe battery. Um, Hopefully this isn't focused enough. The light is going bad. That, as you can see, this is Apple's MagSafe battery charger. I'm not too fond of it yet. The reason why is because I've had 4 months of dealing with Anker. So Anker's compared to Apple's is a little bit different in size. Like I said in my video, they're a little bit bigger when it comes to Anker compared to Apple's. Much bigger if you look at it this way as well. But when it comes to it, like I've been using this one for the better part of a week now, and I enjoy it, but there's some caveats to it. A big point of contention for a lot of my friends in our Telegram group is the fact that this charge is only 1,480 milligrams. Correct me if I'm wrong. Feel free to leave a comment, something like that. But what's really interesting regarding this case itself is the fact that one, it's white, so it doesn't look good when it goes on my Pro Max, which I thought was pretty interesting in itself. Um, and then when I had the Anchor one, looks good. As you can see, it has a nice little ring on it, let you know that it is MagSafe compatible. But when you put it on here, it looks just as good. It's a little bit bulky on both ends, both flat as well as just holding it in the hand. When you have it in your hand, so it looks like just kind of chunky. So people have been pretty much crapping on this for the better part of the week ever since it's happened. But for me, I'm not really impressed for $100. There's something that I don't understand about this MagSafe charger. I've done 2 videos so far, and I'm trying to figure out if I like it or not. And the biggest point of contention for me is the actual price. For $100, why do I need to spend $100 for this when I can buy this for $100? I'm sorry, for $49.99. And Anchor, I guess, caught on, and they've been doing flash sales on this. So you can probably find it for $28 on Amazon, maybe 32, depending on the day that you go. So I wanted to briefly just talk about the charging for this. Both the Anchor and this as well. So when I charged this up, one of my friends told me to charge up the Anchor battery pack to this, and then charge it with my phone. So we'll try that. So as you can see on my phone, it's charging both devices. 100, like my phone obviously is at a certain percentage, but the battery case itself is already at 100%. It's still showing that it's charging at 100% while the phone itself is charging at 71. That was a little bit weird for me. So I don't know if this is going to be like nice for anybody who decides to use this as a bedside charger. I honestly do not know. But with that being said, this is when it's charged through the actual battery pack itself that is charging both devices. Um, it's slow charging the iPhone itself, and then when it comes to the battery pack, it's already at 100%. So I thought that when you purchase this, according to Mac rumors and other forums that I'm in, that this would stop charging the battery pack and start charging the iPhone and just leave this stagnant, which it doesn't do. That was very interesting. Um, Now, if I take this out of, I'm using Nomad's Lightning USB cable. So if I take that out of the magnetic MagSafe case for Apple and put it into the iPhone itself, let's see if anything changes. So I've done that. Now it's plugged into the iPhone itself. And as you can see, right now, the phone is charging. And actually, that's weird. Now that's charging as well. If you saw it a couple of seconds ago, it didn't show that the battery pack was charging. So that's new. That's actually good news. And the question is it charging at 15 watts like it would if it's normally plugged in, or is it charging at 5 watts? I'm assuming that the phone itself is charging at 15 watts and the battery pack is charging at 5 watts. When, in my personal opinion, it shouldn't be charging because it's already at 100%. It should just stop. Kind of like how the 11 Pro and the 11 Pro Max, when you use those battery cases that were attached to the phone itself, when it stopped charging until you actually need to use it. It seems to always be charging. I don't know how that's going to hold up over time, but I mean, we'll see when it comes to that. What are some other things that I want to talk about when it comes to this Apple MagSafe case? This probably will be a brief show because it's my first little thing, my first live stream, so please forgive me for that. When you charge this, I'm using Techi's USB-C like multi-port. You can actually charge your phone as well as your AirPod Maxes. Hopefully, we caught that in the product showcase. When you can charge it this way, which I think is really weird because it will charge, but you can't charge it this way. So if I have my phone and the MagSafe battery pack together, it will not charge. Clearly, it'll slide off. That's not a good look in my personal opinion. Outside of that, like I'm waiting to see when it comes to this. I've seen a lot of videos of people talking about the MagSafe charger and if they're taking it back or not, if they enjoy it. Me personally, for 99 bucks, I enjoy it, but I just really wish I didn't spend that much money, in my personal opinion. Outside of that, I want to touch briefly on Nomad's battery pack. So let's just go ahead and talk about that really quickly. So I'm going to go and look at Nomad's actual website. Once this loads, of course, trying to impress me. Obviously, it's not working for the first stream. But when you go to nomadgoods.com, they just released this, mind you. Never thought I would actually find a need for this, to be completely honest. But, I mean, Nomad just finds a way to create products that you didn't think that you need. I'm not sponsored by them, even though I wear their products. I'm a huge fan of them. I think I've either purchased or reviewed so many of their items, and I love them. I use them every day. From the USB-C cables, which I'm quite fond of USB-C products, Lightning products. I use their Apple Watch band. Currently, mine is charging because for some reason the Apple Watch just refuses to go an entire day. That's a story for a whole nother day. But to make it a little bit brief, when it comes to my Apple Watch, I can take it off the charger at 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, and it's at 10% by 3:30. This is only the case with this new Apple Watch OS 8. I think that's what we're on this year. Was really confused with the fact that not only does my battery not last a year, this is the Apple Watch 6 that I have, so it's the most recent one. And right around the time that Apple decides that they want to announce a new product or they start discontinuing old products, that's when my stuff starts messing up. So first, my iPhone just wouldn't work the way that I wanted it to work. Secondly, my iPad stopped charging. Then the MagSafe, what is it called? The case that you use for your iPad Pro, that stopped working, which I thought was really weird because that lasted every bit of a year and a half for me. And the moment that it went out of warranty for the insurance, that's when it stopped working. Go figure. That's just how it works. But Nomad's actual case itself for this this MagSafe battery pack, again, I have to clue this in because this is what everybody's talking about this week. This one, it's supposed to be like a leather wrapping, similar to how their cases are for your phone. They're going to be like that for this. Someone will say, why in the hell would you need that? What's the purpose of it? Me, I just think it's a way to take away from like the white aesthetic of this. Like Apple, I know that they're trying to get away from black products. When I say black products, I'm talking about actual like physical products like their Magic Keyboard or their trackpad. Like they don't want to do the black aesthetic anymore. They just want to stick to this. So I'm kind of confused as to why white. Why not go and honestly get yourself more generated revenue by going and creating them the color of the devices that they're going to be on? Like I would have liked a blue battery pack.
I would have liked a green one or a pink one or even a black one. But you know what? Apple decided that they're going to go and stick with this. Anybody else, just if you don't like the way that this screen looks, like let me know because I've always hated this. Even with the clear cases, I understand that there's a point for them. I don't like them. They don't look good, in my personal opinion. But hopefully Apple doesn't get on me too bad about that. Couldn't find the link to actually go to Nomad. When I went to their website, the MagSafe cover, I'm sorry, the Nomad battery cover isn't there. So that's a bit of a bummer for me. But whatever. Moving right along, I wanted to touch briefly on my stint on YouTube. Um, I've been a YouTuber for 13 years. That's basically me saying that I set up my YouTube account 13 years ago, and I did two videos. One was me skiing with family, and another one was just a joke that happened on Twitter years and years and years ago. I've since put that in private because you never know who's going to hate on something. But I told myself after I stopped writing for the tech site that I was writing for previously that I wanted to, always do visual reviews. The issue with this is I have not done video editing in roughly, I'd say like 15 years. And so much has changed. Final Cut has changed. Now there's DaVinci Resolve. There's obviously iMovies and things of that nature. And I honestly don't know any of them. I've studied roughly 16 hours of video on YouTube about different practices when it comes to Final Cut Pro, editing, and things like that. And I reached out to a subreddit, shout out to the YouTube subreddit, and I asked people if it's easier to actually just pay someone to edit your shows for you. That way you can create better content. And it came to a lot of, a lot of odds with that community, and YouTube was like, because a lot of YouTubers, they take pride in, working countless hours for editing their videos and just the right way. But I've also recently made 15 to 20 of my favorite personal YouTubers say that they're exhausted with YouTube and, they're running out of ideas. And this is coming in the vein of TikTok and things like, YouTube Reels. I'm sorry, YouTube Shorts and Instagram Reels and things of that nature, where people are trying to get content as fast as possible, and they want to get it to everyone. TikTok is pretty much kicking their butt, talking about YouTube Reels or YouTube Shorts. And for me, I've always liked raw video. I actually just purchased recently in the past 2 weeks my Sony ZV-1, and I'm still learning that. I'm actually talking on that now, and I really enjoy it. But the editing portion it's kicking my butt, to be completely honest. I don't get it. So I paid a guy once to do a couple of videos because I felt like he had a good rapport. I want to say that he's in the chat. Hopefully he's in the chat right now to see that there's a couple of people, but it's not showing me physically who are in the chat. But when I actually did look at the video, that was what I wanted. That was the vision that I had for my videos. A lot of my inspirations I said in the video before, like NKBHD, Jonathan Morrison, Tech Me Out. And it's crazy because those are the YouTubers that have been doing YouTube since I started on like Twitter and apps like that. So seeing them now, and they're still doing great. They're making buckets of money, doing all the good things, and messaging probably Elon Musk and driving Teslas and things. So for me, as somebody who's new, I was really intimidated. I didn't know that all I had to do was just turn the mic and turn the camera on as well. And I podcast as well, so it's easier for me to just talk for hours on end. And it's great to do that, but when you're in front of a camera, like, it's hard to know that you're looking into the camera directly, but also like I'm looking at the screen with messages and things like that. But when it comes to being kind, filming with your people, making sure that you're filming things correctly, and for me, I do a lot of quality. So I want to make the brand look good, but I also want to make sure that I'm giving a genuine, honest, like recap of all of the things that I do. And that's if I pay for them, if I'm sent them to cover things like that, which leads me to today. So I just mentioned a couple minutes ago that I purchased the Sony ZV-1. I purchased that with the intentions of obviously doing YouTube videos, which I enjoy doing, love doing, and I hope that I can continue doing it in the future. But they came out with the camera after it worked out for a while, but now they after they did the ZV-1, they released the Sony ZV-E10. Now, someone would say, why do you mean the ZV-E10? What are the specs? I cannot personally tell you the specs because again, like I told you, I am not the biggest video. I cannot tell you different lenses and things of that nature. And the reason for that is because I never had to do it. So there's certain terms that I'm just learning to adapt to. There's certain ways to film that I'm learning to adapt to. I'm appreciative of that. But after spending, I think, roughly like 680 to 700 bucks for the ZV-1, I was really upset to find out that, after they pushed back that embargo for the ZV-10, it was released. And I said, you know what? I'm going to pre-order. The reason why I wanted to pre-order the ZV-10 was because of the fact that I couldn't get it. I just honestly, I couldn't get it. I looked at the specs. I looked at maybe like 3 hours of people on YouTube. How you can up this evening. So, I see we got my guy Ike. Let's see. Oh, shout out to Ike. Yeah, I'm streaming, bro. My first time ever. Let me just stop on what I said. What I was saying a second ago. I'll get back to that. So, Ike has been one of the more receptive persons or people on this platform. I've shouted him out a few times. I've shouted him out on Twitter and things like that. When it comes to Ike, man, it's just like he's just a good guy. He's giving me a lot of information on the ZV-1. He's probably one of the reasons why I ended up going and purchasing this. So shout out to Ike. And I think he has another one he's saying right now that he's out at dinner, so he's stopped through, saying what's up, and catch the replay. I appreciate it. I appreciate it so much. But with Ike, he's a part of the community, good people, good, kind-hearted people, who honestly are willing to teach. And that's rare in the world we're living in today, where there are a lot of people hate on each other, trying to learn from them. And social media doesn't want, and not all of social media, but there are certain people on social media that just have a black heart, and they see someone that's up and new, and they don't want to extend the olive branch to make sure that they're putting them on, to make sure that they're doing the right thing. And even Twitter and other social media. So seeing the YouTube community receptive to someone new like me that is asking them more questions and going and just making sure that they're doing the right to be, just as good as they are on YouTube, it feels really good. So I wanted to shout out again. But it's coming through. I'm sure that he'll play that. And there's been other people coming in and out. So shout out to that as well. But what I was saying about the ZV-10, my issue with it is it's roughly the same price as the ZV-1 that first was released, around $798. That's obviously what I paid, but it's accessible. So my ZV-1 system, I'm talking right now, I'm currently using the UV rig that cost me $44. The reason for that is because the floor on the ZV-1 is absolutely terrible. It's placed in the wrong place, and it just there were a lot of things that needed to be tweaked, and it cost me a pretty penny in order to actually get it the way that I wanted it to. I also purchased the Rode microphone, which I'm not using that right now. I'm just talking directly to people, and it's pretty nice to know that I have this camera, I enjoy this camera, and I can work with me, I can go places and enjoy this individual like microphone, and I can enjoy the camera as well. And it's just awesome. So when I saw the ZV-E10, I think I really did that. So we're just gonna call it the ZV-10. I think that sounds better, just like the ZV-1, just add a zero to it, or they could have just done the smart thing and said, let's just call it the ZV-10. Why did we not call it the ZV-10? Only something. But either way, when it comes to it, I wanted to touch on some, news when it came to like the tech world and things like that. So Apple, I'm probably one of the biggest fanboys of Apple, and they are requiring masks at most of their retail stores starting tomorrow. So at the time that you're watching the stream, it's Wednesday, July 28th, so roughly 40. And they just announced this because Apple's been like in the news a lot due to COVID. It's not their fault at all. They're honestly trying to do the right practices, but a lot of people just don't. They're not really receptive to it. I work full time and I'm on a rotation, so 1 week I'm in the office, the other week I'm not. And a lot of Apple employees are the types where if I'm at home and I've been home for the last year doing the same work that I have to do in the office, why do I need to do it? And I feel the same way. I think a lot of us feel like if we can do the amount of work that we're doing from home, there's no reason for us to actually walk into an office and possibly catch something, knowing that the Delta variant is there or other variants. And you know, I applaud Apple for trying to appease the majority, but it's still going to be a huge contention when it comes to that. So according to the article that I read, they are saying that they are going to they've cut down their Slack group. So I guess the Apple employees had a large Slack community, and they've stopped that because they're slowly easing people to go into the office. But they said in the stores themselves, the physical Apple stores, they're going to start mandating masking. Now, as somebody who just always wears masks wherever he goes because I'm kind of used to it, I appreciate that they're going and doing their due diligence. So shout out to Apple for getting that right. Secondly, I wanted to touch on this whole Spotify situation. So Spotify is adding something called My Places, and it's a feature that's going to the Snapchat app. I don't know if many people still use Snapchat. I use it every once in a while. I do enjoy it. It's nice to talk to my friends and say, set it and forget it. Like I can leave a message and then it disappears and I forget it. It's nice when you're at the bar, hey, where you at? And everybody has it. And it's the only app, honestly, when it comes to social media, that I don't have to worry about the green bubble, blue bubble debate. Like everybody can have Snapchat that wants it, and it's fun to use. You can post a photo to your friends, it expires. If you're that type of individual who, you are a ladies' man, or a fella's girl, or whatever you want to call it, like you could just leave a message and it'll expire. So it just post in it, and nobody will ever know. But that's your personal business, and Snapchat will allow it. But when it comes to this My Places thing, it reminded me too where it had a lot of contention with that app because I don't want to be followed. And in the world where, Apple and Android as well with apps, ask to track you. I just track the places that I am and the places that I'll go. So I feel like they're focusing their attention on the wrong things. And this My Place feature, it's not going to be good, not at all. I just really hope that they fix it. What else? This isn't going to try to say it. The Olympics, so that's just off the cuff right there. But I wanted to touch on some products that I purchased recently. So the number one on the list, outside obviously Apple's battery charger there, is this Ulanzi MT32. Now, it is a product that I was about mainly because it's like 6 of them on your website. On Amazon, you type in Ulanzi tripod, there's a mini tripod, there's a bigger tripod, there's a small tripod, there's the tripod that does the camera, there's one that does the smartphone. I ordered the 32 expecting a 33. So if you look at this right here, camera, this is great for my ZV1. The issue I have with this is certain brands, like they will give you a dud if you buy it on Amazon, and that's exactly what I got. I was when I put this on and I put my camera on top of it, and this, I don't know if you can see, let me see if I can put it into the camera here. It slowly moves, even though it's as tight as it can possibly be. So if you are out and about and you're vlogging, or if you're just doing video, you have it in your hand, this moves. That's hit or miss for anybody, because if you're out somewhere and you just decide to slide the camera, the weight of your ZV-1 or any other like a DSLR or anything like that, it will fall off. That is not a good look. Nobody should have, I've contacted Ulanzi and I told them that I wanted to possibly get another one. So in the meantime, I purchased, I think this is the MT33, which is currently what this is sitting on. And it's supposed to be the upgrade to the 32, but it also has a feature where you can pull up a latch. You pull up the latch, you lift it up, and you can actually put your smartphone in. So not only does it double as a camera, things you can actually hold your camera as a tripod, but you can also lift this up as a phone carrier as well. So this is nice for, me when I'm out with my daughter and I'm taking photos. I can have this and it doesn't look like Joby. Okay, so brief little statement about Joby without disrespect. My Jobies, every single one that I had have broken, or the hinges have cracked and they no longer worked after roughly, I'd say, 6 to 7 months. And I've purchased more of those than I have of any tripod. My Manfrottos work perfectly. I have one that I got with my Zoom, my Zoom H4, and that worked completely fine. And even this Ulanzi, this works really good. It looks nice. It bends the way that I want it to bend. So if you're, you're outside, you're vlogging, you're taking videos and things of that nature, you can wrap this around the tree. And you see it wraps and it's still sturdy. It's not like Joby where it's like, okay, just you flip it up and you hear it crack, and the next thing you know, your camera's on the ground. So if you have like the Sony ZV-1 that I have, or any other camera for that matter, if your camera falls and the lens falls off or it breaks or cracks, that's it. That's it. I don't know if Sony will allow you to insure these things, but I know for a fact I just don't personally. I don't want to break a camera that I spent almost $700 on. So Ulanzi, like outside of this M32, that I will mention them in the show notes as well. This one was a dud, but Ulanzi was nice enough to tell me to return it to Amazon, and I can either replace it or get a refund. But I trusted them so much that I'm going to send it back. I'll get the refund for that one, but I've already purchased the MT33, which I'm currently using right now. So there's that. Second on my list, since it is summertime, and I know that people that have tech blogs or vlogs like I do, they try to stick to tech. They talk Android, they talk Apple, they talk smartphones, they talk gadgets and things like that. But not everything has to be tech on YouTube. I am a YouTuber that enjoys tech, but it's not always about that. So one thing that I reviewed back when I was on Gear Diary for years. I'm sorry, the name of sense. So Smith glasses, I've been using these for roughly 4 years now, and I love these glasses. A lot of people say, their glasses don't last. We're talking about just the ones that they personally have, but these have held up for 4 years with and without a case. They're a little bit dirty because I can throw them in a bag, they don't break. The insurance on these are fantastic. They do have a lifetime warranty, so I really wanted to shout out the fact that Smith gets it right. They are polarized. They come out in so many colors. It's like what Ray-Ban would be if like Ray-Ban wasn't Ray-Ban. Like there's such a big name that you're like, oh, like I'm going to go get Ray-Bans, but I look like everybody else. I'll just have that vibe of everybody else. With Smith, like the inconspicuous, the minimalism of the actual logo, and they just look good. Like I know you don't put sunglasses on indoors, but I'm going to do it to just show you. So like these, it feels right. Like I feel like an Agent Smith, if you want to call it that. I feel like K. I feel like K when I put these glasses on, they look great. I feel good when I have them on, and they're just great for the summer. I know the summer is almost over, and I know a lot of people are going and not hoping for another lockdown. Trust me, I don't. But I do a little. But these Smith glasses, like even though they're not tech, this is a product that I reviewed, and I stand by Smith glasses. They are fantastic. I love them, and I'm for anybody that is looking for a pair of glasses for the summer to go and just pick up a pair of these. If you have a kid that's going back to school or something like that, and they're of age, they're like 15, 16, something like that, this will be a good investment for them. They're going to look cool, and it's still warm outside. The sun's beaming. Like, the summer doesn't really end. It's just, still hot as hell. But the Smith glasses, they're pretty good. Finally, when it comes to the things that I like, I also reviewed this battery pack. This battery pack, I want to say it was called the IntelliScout. So it's the IntelliScout, and this is a 2,000 milliamp battery, 1,000 watt in, 160 watt out battery pack. Now, compared to Apple's, right? So just to get that in frame, this is Apple's. This is Apple's, and I carry this every day in my backpack in my everyday carry. But this also remains in my everyday carry. This is the IntelliScout, and I want to say this is the Plus version. When I reviewed this back on the site, there were two models of these. So the two models, one came in like 26,000 milliamp, and the other one came in 20,000. This is the one that I have, is 20,000. And I love it. I love it so much. The reason for it is because it does everything. Now, is it big? Absolutely. Come on, man. This is huge. This is huge. But the IntelliScout, it does everything. It can wirelessly charge my iPhone. Let's prove this to you. So the reason why I wanted to show you guys this is because if you want to spend just as much money on something that does more than this is a better substitute. You're not always going to be, carrying this in your back pocket because it's not possible. If you have an everyday carry, a backpack, or honestly, you go on a trip somewhere, this will only get you so far. I can promise you that. But this one here, boy, it'll get you everywhere you need to go. You can go on a 10-hour flight somewhere, and you will still have enough juice. I charged this thing twice, and that was 3 months ago, and I still use it, and it's not completely. Here's the reason why. So the IntelliScout also has MagSafe as well. So if you look at my iPhone, which I'm using Nomad's rugged leather case, and as you can see, it has started to develop a patina. When you put it on here, show you really quick. This is it showing you that it does wirelessly charge, because it will wirelessly charge devices. So if you have a Samsung, you have Google Pixel, or anything like that that does wirelessly charge, it will charge all of your wireless devices. But it also locks in. So as you can see, that's my baby and my wife and myself. I'm not holding the phone. I'm holding the battery pack itself. The reason for that is because it wirelessly will charge and it uses MagSafe. Apple will tell you that a lot of brands can't say that they are MagSafe. They are MagSafe compatible. So let me just say, to be safe, this is a MagSafe compatible device. This battery pack will allow you to wirelessly charge your device, and then when you plug it in, as you can see, let's hope that it goes into focus. Focus. As you see, it is charging now. The LED light on the side of this device can tell you, like I said, charged this 2 months ago, and it's still completely charged. Completely charged. As you can see, it also has 100. Sorry, on the other end, it has 100 watt. It has USB-C, two USB ports, one port, power button, has an LED indicator to let you know you don't have to charge this for another 6 weeks because it's just full. It's full. Outside of the fact that it does MagSafe as well, this thing can charge your Apple Watch. This is huge. It saved me a few times when my battery, like I told you earlier in this live stream, when you have your Apple Watch or something like that, and it gets to 10%, you have this in your bag. There's actually a little divot. If you can see it, let me see, get into frame. There's a divot right in. Let's see if I can get that. I don't know if it's doing it, but there we go. You can see a slight ring there. That divot will charge your Apple Watch as well. So not only can you sit this somewhere, charge your MacBook, your iPad, your Bluetooth headphones if you decide if you want to. You can charge them here as well. I've charged my AirPod Pros on this little portion, this little wireless pad, because not only does it charge as a wireless pad, it also does the MagSafe as well, MagSafe compatible rather. Then you charge your Apple Watch. I want to say at the time that I reviewed it, it was still Kickstarter, so I just want to go and look at IntelliScout again. Just 1 second to check that out. So IntelliScout, it's called the Scout Pro. So I stand corrected. So this is a Scout Pro. It's the world's smallest 240 watt portable bank. Now, the reason for this is because, if you need this, you would already have it, or you'd be checking this out right now. But I implore anybody, if they want a battery pack that does all. Now, obviously, the website decided to use it as well, so we can't do that. I do not want to get it pulled down. But this, I would love this thing so much. Outside of that, let me think of something else that I actually had. I did have the Nomad review that I will be doing next week. I'm very, very excited for you guys to see that. I'm very, very excited. Some other devices that I'm really looking forward to, though. I'm looking forward to the Jordan iPhone camera controller. I'm going to try to pull that up really quick because it looks good, and it's somebody who's starting to get into photography. this case is different. I've never seen a case that can double as like a camera. It has a grip. It reminds me of the shutter grip. I reviewed that maybe 2 or 3 years ago, and he said I can share my screen with you guys to actually see this. Sharing my screen. I will open my system preferences because apparently Apple is telling me I have to open my preferences to you guys. So I will do that really quickly. Again, ladies and gentlemen, this is my first live stream. So you have it's very, very green, but I'll get better at it. I promise. So as you can see, let's share my screen really quickly. So as you can see, it says you can't see my screen. Um, let's see. So so I will just it's not sharing. Share my screen. Let's go to screen 2. Oh, okay. But basically, this camera case itself, it's by a Norwegian company that deals in mobile photography. And with this mobile photography, they want to give you a case. So if you're not carrying around your DSLR, you're not carrying around one like I do, what this camera case will do will allow you to actually go and have this little shutter button in the back of your phone at all times. Now, someone would say, what if I have a pop socket? What if I have a case or something like that? This case, this accessory right here is so good that you probably will go give away the odd box or cases like that. It's that good. It's so good. Um, I really want to show you guys this. Share my screen. Commentary. Share that. Okay. So as you see, it's a iPhone. This so if you play the video, it says that there's a 2-inch shutter button, just like the shutter on the back of the camera. You have press to focus, and your full screen will show. So I'm sorry, to full press the screen. And then it says it has a customizable control dial that can adjust exposure, shutter speed, ISO, portrait mode, focusing. This is a great accessory for anybody who decided that they ever want to just go and you don't want to spend $700-$800. They want something that feels like it, and they already have the best camera on with their iPhone 11, 12, whatever it is. This not only gives you all the functionality that you want from your popular camera, your DSLR, but it also is detachable. So the moment that you don't want it, you can just take that off. And the only thing that I'm really not I'm not feeling is this app. So as you can see, you'll probably need a third-party app in order to use it. It's unlike GoPro or things like that. This has the Fjordan camera app that says that it's fast, but in the little show notes here it says in development. Whenever I see that, I'm instantly scared of what happens with things in development because usually once they sell and the product comes out, they do a couple of updates, and then in a year it'll say the last update was 10 months, 11 months ago, because they already moved on to the next project. They've got money. And mind you, they say Kickstarter and everything. So, if you aren't too fond of Kickstarters, just know that this happens quite often. Kickstarters will tell you that they've done the things that they wanted to do. They wanted to make sure you enjoy the product, but there are even more Kickstarters who will get your money and make money. So you just have to be careful when it comes to particular, Kickstarters itself. Other news says that Sony has sold 10 million PS5 consoles, which I'm pretty interested in because a lot of my friends are still waiting for the PS5. I'm personally an Xbox fan, but I'm trying to do better and get a PS5. I'll do that after I pay for it. After, because some things are more important than others, and daycare for the baby is a little bit more important than playing a PS5 that currently has no games. According allegedly to friends of mine, I have a few friends who have PS5s and they're like, "Yo, I've been playing the same 2 games," or some friends who are just waiting for the next Madden, the next 2K. I'm a Madden 2K guy. Sometimes I'll play a shooter and RPG, but for the most part, like I'm a sporty geek, if you want to call it that. I'll say that. What else do I have on my docket? Apparently, Nintendo is shutting down Dr. Mario World on November 1st. I'll be truthful and completely transparent. I didn't play that game ever. Honestly, until I saw the notification on my phone, I didn't even realize it was still a thing. I thought they hadn't updated it since they released it, and they just threw it in. Cool. That's fine. I felt that way with a lot of Nintendo's like mobile games that come on like the iPhone and the Android. It's good for a couple of months, and then the moment that they're done with it, they're done with it, and they move right along. They aren't like Pokemon Go or the Walking Dead game that they had a couple of months ago, where they got constant updates and people still play them. I feel like the Mario games, they're good for the moment, and they have a little bit of nostalgia to them when you like it for like 2 or 3 months, and then when you stop hearing your friends talking about it, you stop talking about it as well, and then it goes into a folder on your phone, and you just stop playing because it doesn't matter. You go on to the next game. And a lot of people say that they don't like to own a game. And I mean, that's on you. Personally, I'm a little bit different. The last thing I wanted to touch on is Discord. Discord, they added Reddit messaging, which I feel like I don't want to say it's late, but I'm very grateful for the fact that Discord they're catching up with other, apps. I want to say Telegram has it, and what was some other one? I keep wanting to call it secrets, and I don't want to take it completely. But there are other apps that have Reddit messaging, including iOS. iPhones now finally have it, so I'm appreciative of the fact that they do have that. But Discord makes it very important for me because I'm in a lot of Discord groups where the conversations they're hard to follow because you're trying to reply to something that may have happened 15 to 20 minutes ago, and it's out of sequence. And you don't want to have to tag the person in order to get their message back or for them to even know that you're messaging them. So it's better to say, you know what, I saw your reply, let me thread message you to make sure groups that we have, instead of having 83 messages every 2 minutes that you don't really care about. And all of us have been in that one Discord group where, it's just going on every 15 to 20 seconds, 15 to 20 seconds. Now, if you have muted, you can just go back to the message that you actually cared about and have that conversation. And that is a big thing. I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. Let me see. Do I have anything else? I do not. I did want to touch on Tom Ben's Technonaut bag. That was, I must say it's available for pre-order. It's going to be available for pre-order. That's going to be my next, not everyday carry. That's going to be my travel bag. It's supposed to be a 33-liter bag. I want to actually just go check it out now since we're here. The reason for this is because I'm a huge fan of Tom Ben's bags. Their bags are really, really like solid. Everybody that I know, when they see the bag, they compliment it for the fact that it's simple, it looks good, and it just doesn't have a billion things going on. There aren't a bunch of like wacky designs. It looks good. They are pricey. I have to say they are pricey. Let me just go ahead and show you right now from my screen. So I want you guys to see how like good this bag looks to me. So as I share the screen, this is the Tom Ben, the Technonaut. Of course, the website is still loading because my internet is trash just today. If I reload really quickly, hopefully it will show up. But the Technonaut bag, it comes in a 30-liter or a 45-liter. They say now that it's shipping in October. That's because it's sold out that fast. Let's see if I can just find Technonaut Tom Ben. I can find an image of this bag really quickly. So the Technonaut bag, if you look at their support to Google, like it has everything you would personally want from a travel bag. You don't have to worry about a duffel. You don't have to worry about just not having enough space. If you're someone who is a one-bag packer, it does it all. It has every tangible thing that you want. It has the built-in laptop compartment. It has the back panel, which is good for somebody who just like sweats just uncontrollably. If you sweat uncontrollably, it has that. But let's just go and let this load. It says that it has the built-in laptop compartment. So it will fit up to a 16-inch MacBook Pro, which to me, paramount. So I really need a laptop bag that can fit my 15-inch MacBook Pro. So it's suspended a little bit, like I said, from the bottom of the bag. If you can see right here, like it's enough space that will carry that. On the side right here, there's a water bottle pouch where it expands, but it also goes back, which I think is really nice in the fact that it does that. Because a lot of bags now, they've gone for minimalism, but to the point where there's nothing about the bag other than the terminal. And the last thing you want to do is put your water bottle in a backpack with your Mac, your iPad, all your electronics. So for Tom Ben to actually think about this, it's really huge to have that water bottle pocket. And it's not one that protrudes. It sits out when it's out, but then you can just zip it back up and it's just gone. It's just big. You can put other things, the battery pack that you're talking about, or headphones, something like that. Like you can put that in. Told you about the breathable backpack, like this portion of it, where if you are a sweaty person, somebody who just decides that they want to breathe a little bit when they're going to the airport, you don't want to have a sweaty shirt when you take your bag off. This has really breathable like foam. I've used this with the Senate 20 and the Senate 25. They are really good bags for people like me who just for some reason just always attract sweat on the back. And that's good. Um, a lot of people don't like the U-shaped bags because of the fact that they go from end to end. And some people tend to forget to completely zip their bag. The last thing you want to do is lose something out of your backpack. So the fact that Tom Ben's U-shaped main compartment allows it to be roughly like going all the way down, but not too much when you can actually lose your items. That was big. As somebody who carries the Senate 30, that was one of my biggest points of contention with that bag. Is it goes in flaps completely open. That's nice when you want to easily access things when you're sitting down, or if are at the airport, the bag's on the floor, you want to grab something that you know is in. The issue with that though is not that until you get to completely close the bag. So this U-shaped main compartment actually gives you more room to store the things that you want in your bag. As you can see in the picture, there's like one bag clothes. So you could essentially make this your one carry, your all carry. If you're going out of town for the weekend, you don't have to carry a duffel. This is the bag for you. It can carry your laptop, your iPad in that back compartment that I talked about, the water bottle that you can refill at the airport, that's that side pocket. Then you have this little mesh that's in the front of that bag. So the toiletries and things that nature do that with that big U-shaped main compartment, it's huge. It's huge. Right here it says that the ballistic nylon is my personal favorite. I'm getting that in black. It's about 2 pounds, 11.6 ounces when it comes to material, things like that. I have to have this bag. I'm not sure the height of this woman, but this is the 45, I believe. This isn't the 30. This is on her back. As you can see, the little straps that she has around her waist, I'm sure that that's for weight distribution. I'm personally not a fan. I'm not a fan at all. But you know what? If she's doing her thing, do it. I just enjoy the look of this bag, and it doesn't just scream out, "Hey, this bag has a lot of crap." It still looks somewhat streamlined. When you look here, see it back out of this window, stop here, go back, because it was showing the wrong windows. Go figure that. So let me go and share the right window. Let's get back to the tech on that. So when you look at this window here, this bag itself is really, really awesome. It shows you that you can use this in more than just one way. You can use it as a side carry. It can be a backpack, it can be a shoulder bag, it can be a duffel. So it's everything that I wanted from my Air bag. Air, I think that's spelled AER. I had a bag that I reviewed for them a few years ago, and I still love their bags. Don't get me wrong. But Tom Ben's bags, to me, they just feel better on my back to carry around, and they look really, really, really good. But like I was saying, this is the U-shaped main compartment, which honestly shows you everything. You can put 5 bags in there, and it has so much space. It has the breathable back panel, which is nice. It has the built-in laptop compartment, which I'm really, really quite fond of. Carry modes and things like that. The, the point of contention, though, is the price. So the price is not cheap. It's $370. Yeah, I know. $370 for a bag, it's a lot. It's a lot to even consider. And someone would say, why in the hell would you pay $370 for a backpack? And my rule of thumb is you get what you pay for. I've gone and I've been at airports and I picked up bags from airports because the bag that I currently had on me just didn't fit me. And it wasn't fitting all the things that I need. When I like to travel, I like to have my carry-on and a bag that you put under the seat. And I've gotten that with Tonga. The luggage I usually carry in the way luggage, or I carry Travel Pro. Those are the only two companies I really trust because of their warranties. So if anybody's ever decided that they wanted to go and get luggage, those are my two. Travel Pro, I think I use the Platinum Elite, and the away luggage, I usually use the one that doesn't have the pocket. The reason why I don't use the one with the pocket is because the one with the pocket actually has less internal storage for me that I like, and that's for the carry. Now, the bigger luggage that has the pack in the front of it, that's nice. And then on the commercials, they say you can use it for a laptop and things like that. I'm not putting my MacBook in my suitcase at all. Like all of the things that I need or I intend on pulling out, I'm pulling those out of my bag. I'm the one that's on my back, not the one that I have to go into the overhead compartment to do a flight and figure out what to do. Absolutely. So, that was the Technonaut travel bag that I personally cannot wait. I cannot wait to get my hands on this bag. It just looks amazing. It'll be probably my last backpack for a long time. I use for traveling, and who knows, I might end up using it for work, depending on how compact I can make it when I don't have my everyday carry, my camera gear, and things like that. So, that just being said, ladies and gentlemen, that I wanted to just make my first live stream. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed it. I know it's going to be like 15 minutes of me talking by myself. It's 2 comments. So hopefully, more people coming. I wanted to shout out to Ike for even just stepping. Much love to him for that. I'm very grateful. So, thank you all again for actually tuning in, checking it out. Feel free. I'm going to try to do this again next week. Thank you all for subscribing on YouTube. Like it, if you liked it, congratulations and thank you so much for doing that. Hopefully you subscribe because subscribers helps me. That gives me the urge to actually create more content. Seeing people leave a comment, subscribe, it feels good. It actually boosts my morale a little bit, and it helps out with everything. So thank you all for actually contributing to me and my new passion for vlogging and being on YouTube. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Greg. You say hey Reggie, you say Reggie if you want. Some people they see the G there and completely ignore it and say Reggie. No, it's Reggie. It's a nickname that I got years and years and years ago. But you can call me that if you want to as well. You can follow me on Twitter at @AlSharpTony. You can follow me on all the other social platforms at Reggie. If you have any inquiries, you can email at heyreggie@gmail.com. More importantly, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. More importantly, see you